Really?
It says so on his shirt.
Really?
And his opponent
Really?
is one half of the reigning WLW Tag Team Champions. Weighing in at 223 pounds from Columbia, Missouri, Jeff Strong.
So he pronounces things much differently.
Welcome to the Nosebleed Seats. I'm the Mad Conservative Crime Fighter. We're here in Centralia, Illinois at the Athletic Center. For the first time ever, we're presenting you matches from World League Wrestling. World League Wrestling is promoted by Harley Race, has the wrestling school out in Eldon, Missouri. Go to harleyrace.com for information about that promotion. But very rarely do you see WLW venture this far east. World League Wrestling performs the bulk of their shows in Missouri. One of the very few promotions to run regularly in the state of Missouri with the draconian Missouri Athletic Commission regulations. Pretty much the only wrestling that you see in the state of Missouri is Harley Race's promotion. And because of that, typically the cards are only 5 matches long, as the event here in Centralia is only 5 matches long, as is the next night in Mount Vernon, Illinois. Only 5 matches. In the ring right now, to the right, Brian Breaker. And I don't know how you mispronounce the name Breaker. This ring announcer did.
Oh, shout! Really?
Jeff Strong taking offense to any rallying of the crowd, and every crowd at every wrestling event needs to rally. Because the more noise that the fans make, the more enjoyable the wrestling show is. Jeff Strong, one half of the WLW Tag Team Champions, along with Jack Gamble, who is not here tonight. Brian Breaker has been a prospect for WWE. He's had a couple of dark matches and has worked security. Jeff Strong avoiding Brian Breaker. Brian Breaker, a former heavyweight champion. In the ring, as the referee, Stacy O'Brien, who just won the Missouri Wrestling Revival Wrestling Year Award for women. Unlike the men's category, the women's category does not have a lot of competition. She beat out Mischief, Lucy Mendez, Serenity, and Angelus Lane for that award.
I don't think I can do it. I would start yelling.
And a hard chop from Brian Breaker.
One more time.
And headlock takeover by Breaker and Stacy down to the mat. MWR also predicted that if Stacy O'Brien ever had a match against Mickey Knuckles, that Stacy O'Brien would win. I don't agree with that. If Stacy O'Brien did beat Mickey Knuckles, it would be a major upset in my book. So I would not put money on Stacy O'Brien. In fact, Serenity, who is probably going to be a top contender for the MBS Diamond and Rough Award, could smoke Stacy O'Brien. And Jeff Strong with another lockup to the corner and a shot to the gut. Irish whip. Breaker hops over and grabs the headlock and another takedown. Brian Breaker is pretty much taking things to chain wrestling. He can do the high impact stuff, but right now he's pretty much chaining it. Jeff Strong trying to get back to his feet. Nomination period for the MBS Awards is now open. We shall say something about that in between this match and the main event. And Jeff off the ropes and an axe handle by Breaker gets a 2 count. I'd like to say the last time we've seen Brian Breaker in this neck of the woods was back 3-4 years ago at New Midwest Wrestling, a lone appearance there. Breaker taking Jeff Strong to the corner, and a hard shot.
One more time.
Breaker with a shot to the head.
No.
Irish whip. Strong puts on the brakes and feeds Breaker an elbow. And a lariat from Jeff Strong. Takes the bigger man down. I'll make note, New Midwest Wrestling comes back to Springfield, Illinois, January the 21st. That's this weekend. Lanphier High School. For the first time, it will be head-to-head against HHCW, going on at the JC Center, down in the southern end of town. As we talked about on the year review show last week, HHCW is now the latest promotion owned by Rex Gill.
What the? Is this?
Somebody's come out to ringside. Actually, just kind of snuck in there, in behind Brian Kelly of Missouri Wrestling Revival, who is snapping pictures at ringside. That is Dustin Bosworth, or Bosworth. I do not know what his business is at ringside, but he is out here. I'm not sure in whose corner he's in. Looks like it. Looks like Bosworth is in the corner of Jeff Strong here. Breaker fights his way up. Jawbreaker on Jeff Strong. And Bosworth grabs the leg. Jeff Strong kicking away on Brian Breaker. Going for cover, 1, 2 count. New Midwest Wrestling presents Broken Promises on January the 21st at Lanphier High School. Go to newmidwest.com for more information on that. Also, MMWA SICW returns to St. Louis, Missouri at the South Broadway Athletic Club. Go to mmwasicw.wordpress.com. Right now, it's, as I said last week, MMWA-SICW is still considered one promotion despite the major differences in between the two brands. As Jeff Strong maintains a rear headlock on Brian Breaker. Looks like a sleeper hold.
Come on!
No announced shows for World League Wrestling as of yet. It is quite a light schedule for the month of January in the Central Illinois downstate wrestling scene. I do want to make an announcement that we'll be having a guest interview. Guest host for the MBS the second time in forever that all the years of the program, we've had an open door policy to anybody that wants to guest host the MBS to do an interview with any wrestler that they choose. Contact us at the Nosebleed Seats, MCC at CentralProWrestling.com. I do also want to mention that Chris Leese has stated that he's not going to be able to participate in the Nosebleed Seats any further. I believe he's still going to deal with the MBS Pro Wrestling Training Center, taking calls in relation to that. But he is not going to be able to return to the TV show or podcast. Chris Lee, of course, is the manager of the Main Hangar Restaurant in Decatur, Illinois, and the Decatur Airport. And I recommend anybody who wants to have a good meal head out to the Main Hangar at the Decatur Airport. Brian Breaker fighting his way back up. Jeff Strong to his feet, charges and eats a boot. And Breaker, forearm shots to the head. And a hard forearm shot to the head. Breaker with a kick to the gut. Hey! 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 Bosworth on the apron. Breaker just slugs him down. Power slam by Breaker. Hey! Rake! Rake! Oh, come on! Kick out! That was a 2 count.
And your winner, Jeff Strong.
Stacey O'Brien only counted 2 and she rang the bell? What the heck is going on here? Strong and Bosworth are kicking down Breaker, and here comes Chris Hargis. Hargis chases the Strong and Bosworth out of the ring, but good grief, Stacey O'Brien, don't you know how to count a pinfall? Maybe you should stick to wrestling and don't put on the stripe.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a couple of months, we'll be presenting the 2012 NBS Awards. Get in your nominations by going to our website, CentralIllinoisProWrestling.com, for all the information on all the categories you can nominate candidates for, or like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Central Illinois Pro Wrestling.
Wanna wrestle? Head for the MBS Pro Wrestling Training Center at the Skywalkers International Sports Complex in Decatur. They start you off with cardio exercise and teach basic wrestling and performance techniques. You can also learn to be a referee, manager, or announcer. For more information, Call 217-412-1677. The MBS Pro Wrestling Training Center, Central Illinois' only pro wrestling training facility, and the first session is free. Catch the Nosebleed Seats TV on demand anytime. Just go to stlwc.lip.tv, select your episode, watch and enjoy the show. The MBS TV on stlwc.lip.tv.
With a 15-minute time limit. Our first contestant weighs in at 215 pounds from St. Louis, Missouri, David Vaughn.
My gosh! What happened? I have to say this. Stacey O'Brien, you ain't no Carly Rae. It's just unbelievable to me that a referee would, I guess, not figure out how to count 3. Jeff Strong there won a match on a 2 count, not a 3 count. I mean, that's ridiculous. Guarantee you that's gonna go on my Botchamania highlight reel.
And his opponent weighs in at 210 pounds from North City, Illinois, Heath Hatton.
Alright, feature matchup tonight. Contestant in the ring, Dave Vaughn is from MMWA SICW. The gentleman now walking to the ring is the now former AAPW Tag Team Champion, Heath Hatton.
Really?
Look at this, Brooklyn Bobby.
Bobby! 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 Bobby!
Heath Hatton getting in the face of Brooklyn Bobby, who's just here as a spectator. Brooklyn Bobby, a manager at AAPW and IWA Unlimited. But getting back to Heath Hatton, he's no longer the tag team champions of AAPW. Curly abruptly left All-American Pro Wrestling in a creative dispute, and thus Heath Hatton was all alone in defending the tag titles against the new champions, Christian Rose and Matt Cage. So Team Overkill, 2 members of the C4, have captured AAPW Gold. And Matt Cage, who's had quite a year as a wrestler in Downstate, Illinois, who's the IWA Unlimited Heavyweight Champion, now has another belt around his waist. Ranked number 3 in the MBS 25 for January. And another top contender for the MBS Wrestler of the Year Award. So I'm quite sure he is going to get a nomination for that. Though he is going to have stiff competition for that award. Brandon Espinoza won the
Takeover, I can do that.
MWR Wrestler of the Year Award.
Do that.
Tag Team of the Year is also going to be hotly contested as Missouri Wrestling Revival has also awarded the Kentucky Buffet the Tag Team of the Year Award.
What hair? You have
So, is it possible that winners of the MWR Awards win the MBS Awards? Pretty much take a double crown for Wrestler of the Year and Tag Team of the Year. Anything's possible, but we want to get your nominations in.
You shut up!
We the fans, or we want to listen to you, the fans, as to whether you think a certain individual deserves a particular award or not. And Wrestling, go to CentralIllinoisProWrestling.com/awards for the information on the categories and take a look at the list of previous award winners.
You hardly have any hair to pull, whiner.
Lock up to the corner. And Hatton was going to try and slap Dave Vaughn, but
Pull your hair again.
Vaughn blocked it, gets an arm drag, Japanese arm drag, and Vaughn, Irish whip, hesitates in charging the corner, but he managed to land the shot, and now he gets another arm drag out of the corner. And Hatton grabs onto the ropes. David Vaughn, a top competitor at MMWA SICW this weekend. Their show will be back at the South Broadway Athletic Club on January the 21st. So I made mention, going to have a guest interviewer in the next couple of weeks on MBS. Once that interview is taped, we'll be able to reveal who the special guest interviewer and who his special guest will be in the next couple of weeks as Hatton drops a leg on David Vaughn. One count. Midwest Wrestling back in Lanphier High School. Only one announced match, a rematch from November Rain. The Kentucky Buffet taking on Christian Rose and Joey O'Reilly in tag team action. They say all the championships will be on the line.
Now we can go.
What was that, a gum? It's like something came flying out. Maybe it was a mouth guard, that's what it was. Mouth guard came flying out of somebody's mouth, and I believe Vaughn was wearing a mouth guard, and I can understand why more wrestlers don't wear that mouth guard. I mean, as many bumps and falls they take, their teeth have got to be jarred so many times. I mean, Truck Thompson lost a tooth, a kick to the face, and he lost a tooth a couple of months ago. I mean, boxers wear them. Why can't boxers wear them? MMA fighters wear them. Why don't wrestlers wear them? And Vaughn first is whipping the corner and gets a shoulder block and a chop across the chest. For our Champaign viewers, 01 USA Supreme will be coming back to Mattoon, Illinois. It's the new name for NWA Supreme, as the number 2 story of the year describes how NWA Midwest was broken up by the want of a nail. The Sheik will be defending the 01 championship, I believe. He's still the champion. Against Steve Sadist. Former, I don't know if he still got the title, but former NWA Wisconsin champion. As Hatton whips Dave Vaughn into the corner and charges it! It's a clothesline. So a special main event, it's the Sheik versus Steve Sadist at 01 Supreme. January the 28th in Mattoon, Illinois at the Burgess Osborne Auditorium. And Vaughn, it's a clothesline, side elbow, side kick from Vaughn.
1, 2.
2 count. David Vaughn, we don't really see him venture out from MMWA SICW too much. I'm glad to see him here at World League Wrestling, as there's a neck breaker from Heath Hatton. Hatton looks like he's going to be going up. About 150 fans turned out for this event here in Centralia at the Athletic Center as Heath Hatton is on the top rope. Vaughn to his feet. Missile drop kick does not connect. Vaughn, spear! And it's over. 1, 2, 3.
And your winner, David Vaughn.
David Vaughn, your winner. Over a game, Heath Hatton in 7 minutes, 10 seconds. Thank you for tuning in this week on this episode of the Nosebleed Seats. I want you all to support your local wrestling organization by going to the St. Louis wrestling community at stlwrestling.livejournal.com and the new Central Illinois Pro Wrestling.com. Not so new anymore, but stlwrestling.livejournal.com and centralillinoisprowrestling.com for all the latest show information all around the downstate Illinois and Missouri scene as we enter the year 2012 and a greatly altered wrestling landscape. We'll see how things turn out in the course of the year, but I gotta go. We'll see ya.